For guys, I don't do that. Like yesterday, I met a guy through synchronicity who was severely abused and beaten by his father. I helped him a little bit, and he started crying like crazy. And we opened up the heart chakra a little bit, but it wasn't a massage. It was just like um, a coincidence at the beach. He's a few years older than me, and he still holds all of that stuff in him. So he was so happy and surprised by the situation that he was like, he's going to he's like an artist and he makes sculptures and he's going today to come back because I'm going to stay here in near Valencia a couple of days and he's going to come back and give me one of the his sculptures. It's going to be like a woman in a river or something like that, just a sculpture. This is very interesting. I said give, make it very small because I don't have that much space in the van. So I'm a tantra master. I've done 3, 4 years massages, 1,000 women, and I know everything about chakras, about nadis, about emotional blockages, about tapping, specific types of tapping, visualizing tapping. Even there's so many things we can talk about that are absolutely amazing. So let's talk first about relationships and chakras, and astrology and soul plan. This is very interesting. A lot of people come together in a relationships that have asymmetrical or traumatic chakra connections. So for example, one person doesn't like to accept others and the other person needs acceptance, and it becomes, that's what codependency is basically. It's one of the chakras being like a perpetrator and the other like the victim, and they like each other's pain body, so they stay in the relationship and constantly activate that blockage. That's not the relationship that is ideal and healthy. Obviously it's a toxic relationship. And the best relationship that you can have, the absolute best relationship you can have with someone, is if all three chakras are aligned, that are the relationship types, the three relationships types, and the soul plan. So if the soul plan is also aligned. So if you have all three chakras aligned and the soul plan aligned and the astrology aligned, then you have an ideal relationship. The three relationship types are sacral chakra. Do I find someone chemically or sexually interesting? Also joy. Then you have the heart chakra, which is, do I love that person? Obviously, that's really important. And then you have the third eye chakra, which is the connection, the spiritual connection. Have you ever had, it doesn't have to be necessarily super platonic, but have you ever had a relationship where it makes you grow spiritually really quickly, but not in a way that it triggers you negatively? What actually is happening that the other person, by their presence, brings you also into presence. So that's how you grow. That's a third eye relationship. It's literally like the other person sensing, you know, the spiritual part and coming into presence. That's the third eye relationship where you telepathically also feel the other person. So that's a spiritual relationship. Then the heart chakra relationship is obviously the love relationship. And then the sacral chakra relationship, which is the sexual relationship. And I've done 1,000 massages with women and I've connected with them energetically, obviously. And I can tell you something with absolute 100% assurance, and it's very interesting. This is very, very interesting. That about 0.1, 0.2%, so 1 in 1,000, 2 in 1,000, you're going to have a very strong chakra connection with. That means you would have to meet 1,000 people. This is interesting about selecting partners, by the way. You would have to meet 1,000 people before you meet someone, in theory, to meet someone who you have a very strong chakra connection with. And that's why it makes perfect sense to take your time with people, but meet a lot of them. So wherever it is, speed dating in the supermarket, whatever. But once you feel the chakra connection, it doesn't have to be, all three of them at once, but ideally you have all three. But if you have, let's say, two of them, the sacral and the heart chakra, if you feel that very, very, very strong attraction, it's basically, I'm not talking of physical attraction, an energetic attraction in the sacral chakra, just by being in the vicinity of the other without even seeing them. Your sacral chakra is activating. It's an energetic thing. It's not like, oh my God, this guy or this girl is hot. I want them. That's not it. Because you can find physically or through the eyes, you can find many people interesting, but it doesn't mean your sacral chakra is activating. And this is super interesting because when you pick someone that you have this automatic sacral chakra activation or heart chakra activation, and it's full force. You feel it, you know it, because it's super strong, 1 in 1,000. Then it's basically your astrology with the astrology of the other person telling you this person is perfect you for you to conceive children. It makes logical, complete sense. It's like your body telling you this person energetically is perfectly aligned with you to have children. And so it shouldn't be discounted. The only problem is when one person feels this and the connection is there, but the other person is not as sensitive and cannot feel it. So they'll go more for superficial stuff because they're not that sensitive. So they go more like, how do you look? What job do you have? All of these things. Or if you're funny, or I don't know. But it doesn't happen with the energetic. And my proposal, what I'm proposing here is instead of picking people by their looks or by the way they act or by their social status or by the way they dress or by the job they do, start thinking about it differently. Start picking partners or a partner on the energetic connection that you have with them. And I actually should talk about this a lot more because this would be a complete revolution in understanding relationships. And then the second thing is look at the astrology, like where's the star sign, the ascendant, the moon sign, and all of this stuff. But also, where's the soul plan? Is the soul what kind of soul plan does the person have? What are they planning to do in their life? Um, and when you understand that also, and that matches as well as the chakras, which is of course is an absolute lottery ticket. But you don't just want anyone for a relationship. You want that lottery ticket. Everyone wants that lottery ticket. And you know what's so great about this type of relationship? That let's say you have an energetic sacral chakra connection, it's never going to go away. And this is something which happens a lot in other relationships, that it's either wasn't there from the beginning, or and you're trying to force it, and then the partner gets attractive, sometimes unattractive. Then as they age, the partner becomes more and more and less and less and less and less attractive. But the sacral chakra connection, when it's there, is always going to be there. And that's what's so cool about it. So when you pick partners like that, you're always going to have a good connection. And the really good relationships are really based on that, on the soul plan and the chakra connections. That's what you see. And most people are not aware of it. So people like wonder, why is there a 50% divorce rate? Why are people so unhappy? Why is everybody single? And it's because they have never thought about relationships from the energetic point of view. Rather, they were thinking about it, on superficial things. And the tantra, I suggest a lot of women and men do with a person that they trust, do tantric practices, like the intimate energetic practices, because you will learn so much about energies. I think actually I believe every couple should do a tantra couple workshop. Every couple, because they will learn so much about giving the energy space, time, patience, love, intent, the right intention, and not just, using the other partner and their energy field as an object for their instant gratification. And and I think most women would agree with me unless they're traumatized. Like if a woman is traumatized, she will not see what I'm saying. Um it's learning to give the body the sensitive space that it needs to truly blossom. So yeah, I wanted to share with that, and I'm gonna make a pause now because of my throat, as I'm a little bit sick, and maybe I'll do a little bit videos more later.